In the late 20th century, specifically 1997, I found myself embarking on what can only be described as an adventure in the wild and wacky world of web content creation. This was a time when HTML and CSS were the height of technological wizardry. Rollover image effects and animated GIFs were the order of the day, akin to digital fireworks that you could set off without burning your fingers. It was amusing in a way that only the late 90s could be, where the pinnacle of technology was making a dancing baby go viral. As the digital eons passed, heralded by the sound of dial-up internet screeching its way into the new millennium, Flash arrived, offering a platform that integrated coding and design in a way previously unattainable. This was akin to the discovery of a new element, expanding the periodic table of web technologies. With Flash, we could create entire web universes complete with twinkling stars and swirling galaxies, or at least make menus drop down in a way that was mildly entertaining. As the web ecosystem evolved, the decline of Flash became inevitable, hastened by the emergence of open standards like WebGL, a technology that allowed the brave and the bold to render 3D graphics directly in web browsers. This wasn't just a new toy in the developer's toolkit, it was a whole new playground. It was new, it was shiny, and it didn't require a plugin. Enter Three.js, a library that made working with WebGL akin to discovering that your spaceship came equipped with an autopilot. This library, this tool, made creating 3D worlds not just possible, but enjoyable. It was high level, which in programming terms means less likely to make you pull your hair out in frustration. Through all of this, the journey from basic HTML to Three.js, there's been a constant: change. It's the only reliable character in the story, showing up uninvited, eating all the snacks, and then deciding to stick around and redecorate the living room. So here we are, in the current chapter of this ongoing saga, where web content isn't just something you look at, it's something you can step into, a world you can explore. Equipped with Three.js and a sense of cosmic insignificance, we venture forth. After all, in the grand, incomprehensible plan of the universe, who's to say that creating a 3D portfolio website isn't exactly what we're supposed to be doing? Today, we're taking a scenic detour through the wonderfully disordered landscape of my creative process. This video is about the beautiful chaos that comes with creation. We often look for methods for systems of getting stuff done. Today, I share with you my method for a one-day build. Prepare to dive headlong into the rabbit hole of creativity. Along the way, we'll encounter the unexpected, we'll make friends with failure, and perhaps learn to make do with what the universe gives us. So join me, not just as observers, but as fellow travelers on this journey of discovery. Estimated time of arrival, whenever we get there. Enjoy the ride. The tools I want to use are this pen and paper, either Midjourney or DALL-E or both, to generate design ideas and implement those designs. I'm going to build them using HTML and CSS and Three.js. I might use a chatbot like ChatGPT for help. Create a bunch of designs and refine those designs, rough it out, prototype phase. That's it. Prosper. I'm using DALL-E. Let's get started. I'm just gonna toy around with some different prompts and see what we can come up with. So, all right, let's see what DALL-E has. Would you like visual sketches for any specific section or element of design? Here we go. I'm not in love with either of these. I don't know if I'm going to need DALL-E because I have a bunch of existing websites that I think are awesome that I can kind of riff off of. No. No. Let's see what DALL-E makes of that. Okay, and then... No, I don't like either of these. Okay, what I think I'm going to do, what I want to do, is go through some of my favorite 3D art examples, pick out 2 or 3 of my favorites, and see if I can kind of massage those into responsive scroll things. What the hell does that mean? Into some ideas for interactive backgrounds, or interesting backgrounds. I hope that makes sense. I'm going through some of my favorite experiments to see which of these experiments I think would work well on a portfolio website that I'm building. That's too much. This could be cool. That's pretty cool. There's the earth, fireflies. I do love the look of that. Oh, I love this. No. I'm referring back to a Three.js example. What I like is they're creating an element, putting it on the page, div id equals container, and then referencing that, getting that, and then adding that append child, which is the canvas, the DOM element. Instead of this line here, we're going to say container equals that, and then, yeah, container dot append child, like that. If I save this, it should work the same, exactly the same, only this time I now have this container, and I can style it. I can style the canvas too. In this case, I had the inspect this. We get this canvas here. The canvas has the position fixed. Okay, this looks pretty clear right here, back in 2019. When I set up a new WebGL renderer, I can pass in some props like canvas const canvas equals 3 canvas. That way I can drop it in here. Canvas equals 3 canvas, like that. Let's see what happens now. Bob's still your uncle? What if I said alpha is true? How cool is that? That it just works. Of course I don't want that. But now I can add a bunch of crap to the page. I want to make a box in it, and then when I scroll I want those to go by. Content goes here. Can you just spell fix that? Can you just fix it for me? Fine, I'll do it. Oh, I saw it. So let's fix the canvas. is position fixed. I don't know where it is, but temporarily get rid of controls. Just temporarily. Alpha equals true. Okay. It should be in front. Well, I need to do some z-index work or something like that, I guess. My content panel's all squished onto one horizontal axis. I don't want him to do that. So I'm hoping Chrome can show me how I can avoid that. What do you got for me, Chrome? So display, let's see, the container is display flex. I can touch this thing and say like this. That's pretty good, but not what I want. Flex wrap. Flex wrap. Flex wrap is wrap. But I can't scroll. Why can't I scroll? Thank you very much. So flex wrap wrap. Good. How do you do a variable again? Oh yeah. Gap is... Alright, I need to look up CSS variables. I have to put it inside of something, like the body, for example. So, var gap. How's that? Does that work? It works. 3 portfolio website 2024. Z index. I saw this in another site. -1. Oh, that moves it back. Okay, I've got the basic framework set up. A very long scrolling page with different sections, with a header and a footer. What I want to do now is throw all the 3D effects in the same file and then hook up a scroll listener. This is just the first pass, a rough and dirty pass, like so. Not dark enough though. I'd like it to be 101010. Is that dark enough? I think that's dark enough. It's pretty cool. Should I hook up the scrolling effect first? Yes! Okay, good. Let's do that instead. So, boom. Get rid of this. And this. And this. Now I've got icosphere 2. Now, scroll listener. MDN scroll listener. Document scroll event. Event. What does that look like? Open up the console. And what do we have on here? We have a timestamp. We have a target. A source element. What's the target? Scroll Y? Window.scroll Y? Is it that easy? Whoops. Oh my god, look at that. There's the scroll Y. Look how easy that is. Okay, but now I need to convert these numbers into Three.js coordinates that I can use. What if I said divided by window.innerHeight? What would you say to that? No. I'm not sure how to do that exactly. I'm completely lost on that, how I did that before. But it worked. It was for the text, I guess. Wasn't it? I can't remember. I'm going to put stuff on a big object track, I guess, and then move the track. including this background sprites. Const giant stuff group equals a 3. Just call it stuff group. And then stuff group scene.add stuff group. Whoops. I don't know how that happened. Let's go grab this and put it in my animate method. Let's see. Look at that. Actually working. And that's the end of that. We're now going to integrate a couple of different 3D scenes, 3D effects into this website. Okay, we're going to replace those primitives as the next step. After all of those effects are in place and I've got it looking the way I want, I'll replace this kind of dummy text. All right, let's do this. First thing is to grab the text and put it in there in the top. So here's the text. How am I going to do this? Okay, now I want to move on to loading this one, where I just have a bunch of point lights and they're orbiting this model. I'm thinking I'll just use an icosphere instead of an imported model just to make it easy. And we'll call this const sphere with lights equals get sphere with lights, like that. So we have to define that. Import get scene with lights from sphere. What are we calling it? Point lights. Point lights get sphere with lights. Inside of point lights, I'm gonna export get sphere with lights, like that. Function get sphere with lights, and we're not going to return that. We're just going to return that. Return icosphere. We're just starting with this thing here, like that. So there should be an icosphere. There it is. About 0. Okay, good. Color needs to be white. Sphere with lights needs an update method. It has one. We're calling that sphere with lights dot update. That's pretty cool. I think that's actually a nice size too. Okay, at this point I have most of a website together. I'm just going to list all the parts that still need to be fixed. So I need to add actual copy / text. Fix the issue with the directional light so that it's only on when the footer has scrolled into view. reposition stuff so it's not all centered. Better fonts. Change the color of the hero text shader. Maybe it's a random color each time. Add the gorgeous rectangles. Oh yeah, cards. Add more BG layers with different hues. There's a lot of stuff in there. And now I want to sort out the 3D cards just below those primitives, which you can't see. If I enable the hemisphere light again, you could see them, but there's the hemisphere light. Now you can see those guys again. So right below them can go add cards for YouTube. Const card geo is equal to a new 3.plane geometry. And then the card material, look at that. Assets images YouTube.jpg. Let's get rid of this and this and give it a color. It's going to be white by default. There it is. 3. Yeah, that's actually about right, but let's make it a little smaller. Let's add a window.add event listener. Or pointer move? Is that what it's called? Pointer move? But do I want pointer? Pointer move. Alright, I just didn't need the capital M, I guess. And I could just open one of these up and get client X and client Y. Okay, but maybe I don't have to do that. Client X, client Y. So now I could just log those values out. It's 0 over here, it's 0, almost 0, 0 up in this corner, and whatever the max is over there. Since it doesn't have to be precise, I think I can just keep it simple. Let X equal that, and let Y equal that value divided by window.innerHeight. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. And then console.log those values. Now we're getting a value between 1 and 0. It's normalized. I like it. Let's define a global variable called mousepause. Mousepause dot. That's a mess. Mousepause dot set x comma y. That looks pretty good to me. And now, just to move one of these cards around, card dot rotation dot y equals, let's just say mouse pause dot x. Yeah, minus 0.5. In the center it'll be 0, and on either side it'll be 0.5. Yeah, so now we have a little bit of mouse interaction here. It's not very remarkable. Let's do the rotation.y too. That's rotation x. So now those cards kind of swerve around. I think that's pretty cool. So, 3D portfolio website, complete with hero text at the top, some dazzling 3D effects along the way. We've got these floating cards, another cool effect. Lastly, a get in touch section, which when you reload it, displays a random animation each time. There it is. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you have suggestions for me, leave a comment. Thanks so much. See you next time.